I've lost another servo on this thing. So we're going to try to cram this thing in there. That's a 20 kilogram. This is a waterproof, digital. It's a K5 servo. It looks very similar to the Power HD. It's a high torque servo. Metal gears inside of it. And I'm going to show a diagram. It shows there's a gasket inside of here, just underneath the gear. There's also a gasket in the top of the casing between the plastic and the metal casing. This is actually aluminum housing. And there's another gasket on the bottom end, on this end right here. So it's fully encased. It's supposed to be waterproof. And I'm going to test that out. Alright, this thing's on. No power. And it is on. You can hear the fan running. I took it out to the beach and some sand got up in here. And I sprinkled some water and the servo kind of gave up before I even put a little bit of water in there. But once the water went in, it just totally gave up. It wasn't a waterproof servo. But I did not get it really wet at all. It's just maybe a couple of drops on the outside. But it's done for, so we're going to go ahead and cram this new servo in there. Alright, so I got my bracket and I trimmed it down a little bit. You can see that there. Trimmed it down so it fits over top of this larger servo. I'm going to be able to get at least one screw in there. And that double-sided tape, I trimmed a little piece right that fits right here. And I'm going to set that in there so it can screw down on this side with a longer screw. And I'm going to double-side tape this. Alright, it took a ton of cutting, as you can see here. I took a whole side off of this servo just so it could clear the front drive shaft in there because it was rubbing on it. And I ended up taking some of this framing out right here, as you can see, just so the front corner of the servo can sit it in there. And I believe the body will wrap around it pretty decent. It might bubble out a little bit, but I'm not concerned about that. This is the original bracket. You can see it's not quite making it to the bottom. So I have an elongated screw here, if you want to take a look. That's what I'm using. I did trim it just a little bit shorter and filed it smooth. So I'm going to use that to attach it. So I'm going to peel that tape cover off and I'm going to cram this thing in there. So that's basically what we're looking like in there. It's very tight clearance. I mean, I'm right next to that drive shaft in there. It is right up close to it. So we're bumping up here. I had to trim it right there so it would let this bracket come all the way down as far as it could. So I'm going to attach it and wire it in and see how this looks. Alright, there she is crammed in there. I went ahead and kept the 1060 Hobby Wing quick run in there because for some reason the Gould RC wouldn't run my fan properly. It would only cut on and off. There's seriously no clearance in here. I mean, it fits and it works. I'm going to have to put a new bracket in here though. This bracket is just not substantial for the amount of torque that this servo has. It really just flexes this plastic all over the place. It even flexes the chassis plate as it turns. But I think I found out what caused the previous servo to give up. It was just working too hard, these big tires. And inside of here, something is binding up. I'll go ahead and show you in a second and then see how that it's working and everything. But for some reason it's binding up in there, so I'm going to have to take this apart and clean up this steering mechanism. You can see the chassis is flexing right there. I'm just turning it just a little bit, and it is binding up in here, like I said. So I'm not going to work it too much. Ain't no point in it. I'm going to clean it up so it can do proper. But this steering link and setup is not very good. from factory. I don't know why they got it set up. Any type of dirt or debris gets inside of this track, and it just locks it up and makes it near impossible for to drive. And you have to like wash it out, and then you're just spraying water all over your machine. So it's not so fun, but that servo is definitely going to give me some torque, and I can't wait to test it out as I clean this crap out. So thanks, please subscribe, check out this rig when I throw it together. Sorry I haven't made too many videos lately, but I'm ready to smash this thing a little bit and get some good footage. So please subscribe, hit me up, appreciate it, thanks.